ABC 10 News starts now with breaking news.
And that breaking news has SWAT teams swarming a high-rise downtown with streets on either side shut down. Good evening. I'm Steve Atkinson.
And I'm Kimberly Hunt. Police have been outside the Park Place condos for hours trying to get a suspected burglar to come out. Our ABC 10 News reporter Laura Acevedo is live in the Marina District with this standoff that's bringing downtown to a standstill. Laura?
Well, Kimberly and Steve, we just found out moments ago that the woman was taken into custody a short while ago. There is still activity here on Pacific Highway and Harbor Drive. Officers were out here negotiating for hours with this woman. Police say this all started at around 4:30 this afternoon after they got a call of a woman inside of an apartment. Officers say that the woman is possibly a transient that broke into the home. Now, the homeowner was not home when this happened, but was alerted to the break-in by the apartment's interior alarm. Officers say the woman hasn't communicated with them or hadn't communicated with them for the last hour and a half, although they were hearing noises coming from inside that apartment. They say the woman didn't have any known weapons and that the situation was escalated to SWAT out of an abundance of caution. But as you can see here, officers seem to be standing down now. They did tell us moments ago that the woman is now in custody, and she was a burglary suspect for allegedly breaking into that apartment where they were negotiating with her for hours. The streets are still closed off here near Harbor Drive in the Marina area, but again, this has just come to an end, and so they are wrapping up. She is in custody, and they will be opening the streets as soon as their investigation concludes. Reporting live, Laura Acevedo, ABC 10 News.
Laura, thank you for the update. The race for San Diego's mayor is intensifying. Assemblymember Todd Gloria says he and his campaign have filed a police report after receiving a serious threat last night. He says his opponent, Councilmember Barbara Bree, and conservative radio host Carl DeMaio are inciting the threats. Our ABC 10 News reporter Anthony Pura has reaction from all sides.
Gloria's campaign sent us some of the threats they've received. We're not going to show them to you because they contain disturbing images and offensive slurs. San Diego mayoral candidate Todd Gloria says it's not unusual for politicians to receive threats, but the ones he's received are different.
It's about the threat of physical violence. And in this day and age, we just cannot stand for that. And I think particularly given that these threats are being motivated by thinly veiled homophobia, I think it's further need to call it out.
This week, ABC 10 News reported that Gloria is taking attacks via text message from conservative radio host Carl DeMaio over Gloria's recent support of SB 145. The bill lets a judge decide whether to force someone to register as a sex offender in certain circumstances after having sex with a minor. The bill is meant to end discrimination against LGBTQ individuals. Gloria says DeMaio and his opponent, Barbara Bree, are inciting the violence against him. DeMaio says he has not endorsed Bree. Bree released a statement saying in part, violence and threats of violence have no place in civil society. However, it's outrageous that Todd Gloria is blaming me while his supporters are promoting political ads that have resulted in numerous personal threats against me. DeMaio also released a statement saying in part that Gloria is desperate to distract voters from his indefensible support for the controversial law. Meanwhile, a committee that supports Gloria released this ad against Bree showing the councilwoman appearing to doze off at a city meeting. The same committee also paid for these mailers. They look like ads supporting Bree, but actually a mailer that says she's progressive is going to Republicans, and a mailer that says she's the Republican choice for mayor is going to Democrats. Bree blasted the ad on Wednesday.
They do not explain who I am as a person. They were done in a deceitful way to purposely deceive voters about who I am.
In a virtual mayoral forum Thursday, both candidates were asked about some of the attack ads.
That should be something that should be ceased immediately, not just because it's false, but also because it's dangerous.
Thank you,
I'm also getting threats because of the flyers that have gone out about me.
Both candidates during the forum pointed out that their campaigns were not responsible for those attack ads against their opponent. Anthony Pura, ABC 10 News.
And 13 people are facing serious charges for a terrorist plot to kidnap the governor of Michigan. Today, law enforcement revealed troubling details. They said the men were stockpiling weapons and scouting locations for an attack. Included in the plan was targeting several law enforcement officers and blowing up a bridge as a diversion for the main attack on the Capitol. They hope to kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer and conduct what they called a trial for treason.
When I put my hand on the Bible and took the oath of office 22 months ago, I knew this job would be hard. But I'll be honest, I never could have imagined anything like this.
Well, many of those charged today are tied to extremist militia groups who have opposed coronavirus restrictions. Several of them were part of an armed group that stormed the Michigan Capitol building earlier this year.
The agony of defeat stings the Padres. Their playoff run has come to an end, falling to the Dodgers tonight in Texas. Our ABC 10 News Sports Director Ben Higgins joins us live with the forgettable finish to what was really a memorable season, Ben.
Yeah, Steve, down 2 injured starting pitchers, the Padres had to once again rely on an overworked bullpen to keep their season alive against the Dodgers, and there just wasn't anything left in the tank.
All the excitement for Padres fans came in the second inning. The Padres scored 2 runs to take their only lead of the game. Trent Grisham's RBI infield single turned out to be the high point of the night because it only took a few moments for the Dodgers to go back in front in the top of the third. Great stop by Fernando Tatis Jr., but the throw gets past Eric Hosmer at first base, and Mookie Betts comes around to score. That opened the door for a big inning as the Dodgers plated 5 runs against Adrian Morejon and Craig Stammen. Jock Peterson brought home the final 2 to make it 6-2. Dodgers held that lead the rest of the way. We're up 8-3 in the ninth when things really got out of hand. Will Smith with the bases-loaded double off Trevor Rosenthal. 5 hits for the Dodgers catcher, setting a new postseason team record as the Padres season comes to an end with a 12-3 rout and a 3-game sweep. But it was still a special year.
I think we had a little bit of play or a little bit of hand, a spark in the city of San Diego. I wish we could have got a bigger taste.
Yeah, disappointed yet proud manager Jace Tingler. We'll hear from some of the players a little bit later in sports. I'm Ben Higgins, ABC 10 News.
All right, we'll see you in sports. Thank you, Ben. Southwest Louisiana is bracing for its 6th major storm in 4 months. Hurricane Delta is packing Category 3 winds after slamming into Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. Delta, which is expected to come ashore on Friday, is likely packing more than 100-mile-an-hour winds.
The strongest hurricane to hit Louisiana in 150 years. And to have anything like this coming our way is very scary at the moment.
Protective blue tarps are still clinging onto homes as this relentless hurricane season won't let up. And now many are under mandatory evacuation again, faced with the potential of hurricane-force winds and flooding. ABC 10 News anchor and Jennifer De La Cruz is joining in now as she is tracking this storm. Boy, it's just been rough for those people in that area. Jen?
They unfortunately, Kimberly, cannot get a break. This is a major hurricane, Category 3 storm, winds right now gusting at 120 miles per hour. This is going to continue to track to the north overnight over warm waters, but it is fortunately going to lose some steam, dropping down to a Category 2 storm, making landfall in portions of southern Louisiana tomorrow by 5 p.m., bringing damaging rain, lots of winds to portions of the Sun Belt and then through the mid-Atlantic states. So definitely packing a powerful punch here, and we still have a month and a half left of hurricane season.
All right, Jen, thank you. President Trump is refusing to participate in the debate scheduled for next week after the format was changed from in-person to virtual. Despite testing positive and receiving care for coronavirus, the Trump campaign claims the president would be healthy enough to attend that debate. Shortly after Trump said he wouldn't do the virtual debate, Joe Biden agreed to participate in an ABC News town hall. On the campaign trail in Arizona, Biden blamed President Trump for the damage done by the virus.
Look, we've paid too high a price already for Donald Trump's chaotic, divisive leadership. More than 210,000 Americans have lost their lives.
White House physician Dr. Sean Connolly says he fully anticipates President Trump to return to public engagements by this Saturday. In an unprecedented decision, the esteemed New England Journal of Medicine is wading into politics for the first time in its 208-year history, urging the country to vote out the current leadership. In an editorial, the publication points out that coronavirus cases and deaths in the U.S. far outpace similar countries around the world. The article says this about the current leadership, quote, countries were forced to make hard choices about how to respond. Here in the United States, our leaders have failed that test. They have taken a crisis and turned it into a tragedy.
Governor Gavin Newsom has tested negative after a staffer tested positive for coronavirus yesterday. The governor's office says that staffer had not interacted with the governor or anyone else who often sees him. Newsom was said to have taken the test out of an abundance of caution. A small number of students will return to San Diego State's campus for classes starting Monday. The university president emailed details out to the students this afternoon. Many of the classes that will resume in person are those deemed necessary for the students to graduate. Students who will be on campus are required to get a COVID test every 14 days. The Cal State system has also expanded SDSU's ability to enforce policies such as wearing masks.
Here are the latest local coronavirus numbers. The county reported 291 new cases today. That brings our total to 49,400. There were also 6 new deaths, bringing that total to 819.